Joan Rivers. Joan's guests tonight are Larry Hagman, film critic Siskel Ebert, rock star Stacey Q, and Charles Nelson Reilly. Mark Hudson with the Party Boys and the Tramp. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Joan Rivers!
This is what, yeah. Black and gold, I feel like Mrs. T. But tonight is a very special night, folks. If you notice, the orchestra is all in black tie, and Mark is in smart white tie, right? It is our, every talk show has anniversary shows, and we have been on now a week, so we figured the hell with this. We're going to have our first anniversary show. So here it goes. It seems like only yesterday when we began, but it's been a very exciting time. Backstage, the whole band, and I thank you very much, got me champagne, and in my honor, to match my chest, it was flat. And then our tramp, Beverly, God bless her, she jumped out of a cake. Isn't that exciting? And now we have a new name for her, which is Pop-Tart. And if you've been watching, how many of you have been watching the show over the week? Yeah. Well, we have had, as all shows have, and you discuss on your anniversary, we've had some good times, we've had some bad times. We had some wonderful guests. We had Angela Lansbury and David Lee Roth and Pee Wee Herman. And we had Stanley, which I think was one of the most outstanding things, from the May Company. For those of you may remember, we found him on the telephone trying to buy a juicer. We brought him on, and what can I tell you? He came on our show, he sang, he was signed to a record company. The Jackson 5 grabbed him. He became a national star. Then he turned to a rotten human being. He turned to drugs and booze, went to the Betty Ford Clinic, and ended up beating up his wife, okay? Now, the last part of that didn't happen, but it's just like Dallas. It was a dream, okay? But we've had a very special time here. I've been thinking about all the friends over this last week that we've made. We have Mark, of course, and we have the Tramp. We have our wonderful cue card guy, Mike. We have Clint Holmes, our announcer. And I've loved every moment of it. I love all of you. But more than that, I think, ladies and gentlemen, may I call you that? More than that, I think what I love is to know that perhaps in my small way, I have brought a drop of happiness into people's lives. If I can make a tear of joy come to someone out there watching, a moment of peace to a very little person, if I can make a shut-in smile, a mother giggle, a grandmother go ha-ha, if I can do this, if I can do this, and if I can pick up big bucks for doing this, I'll be here, okay? So happy anniversary. And our guests tonight are wonderful. We have Larry Hagman, film critic Siskel Ebert, rock star Stacey Q, and Charles Nelson Reilly. But one more thing before we go into the commercial. You're going to go do the commercial and the music. No. It's anniversary. I want to take a picture of you, okay? So, everybody get together, okay? All right. Everybody get in closer. All right. Okay. Now, if Sean Penn's in the audience and I take this picture, I'm one dead bitch, you know that. But, okay, stop. Here we go. All right. Say cheese, but if you're from Beverly Hills, say brie, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and... You got it. Happy anniversary. We'll be back after the special event, so please stay tuned.
The Late Show is brought to you by the Heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet, and by General Foods Corporation. Satisfying your family is what we're all about.
You know, there's a certain elegance to a cup of Maxwell House instant coffee. It never needs ice cubes. It isn't fizzy, and you don't drink it out of a can. Of course, it's not the kind of thing that you gulp down with a cheeseburger. But then again, there's more to life than cheeseburgers.
When we want to work up a sweat, nothing works like this full-size Chevy pickup. It's got the muscle of a fuel-injected 350 V8. And it's available in every full-size Chevy. It's got the strength of girder beam front suspension. Where? Oh, there. Plus, double-wall construction. So, when you need a tough-working partner... Nothing works like a Chevy truck. Nothing. Yeah? Yeah.
The power says go, but the weight says no. Now, Love for Kids present the Coors Light Motor Spectacular, the Hot Rod Truck and Tractor Super Bowl Fall National. Tonight and tomorrow nights at 8 and Sunday at 2 at County Coliseum. All the big iron is coming. Modified, super modified 2- and 4-wheel drive power pulling trucks. Top fuel multi-engine dragster tractors. All the big rigs are coming to El Paso. See the Bootlegger and the Bandit. See the Coors Light Hot Rod Truck Tug of War. And Monster Mania, featuring the world-famous wheel-standing bus-crushing Taurus. The truck pullers are coming. You better be going.
Introducing Slice, the soft drinks with 10% fruit juices, like new mandarin orange slice.
We got the juice, we got the jazz, we got the taste that no one has. We got the juice, we got the twist, we got the crush and sun-kissed and mist.
Mandarin orange.
We got the juice, we got the splash, orange slice. We got the taste that no one has. On ice, we got the juice.
Diet too.
Orange slice.
I don't know who picked your outfit, but you look like a gay penguin. You look silly. But before we start the show tonight, I just want to say we've gotten a lot of phone calls and some letters from people saying they've literally changed their viewing habits for us, which is very nice. Some people watch the news now before us, the earlier news. They watch after us. And some people have said they've just given up the news, which made me feel very, very, very guilty. So, at this point, that you don't feel you're missing anything, we would like to give you a quick wrap-up of the news of the day. And here is our FBC News anchorman, John Machita.
In the top of the news today, Queen Elizabeth met with Chinese labor leaders in Beijing. Conferences went on with Wang Ho, Fat, Li Hai Ching, Mei Li Ping, Quan Chou, King, Wan Coupon, and Ring Ding Dong. Afterwards, the Queen attended the official dedication of the first McDonald's hamburger outlet in Beijing. The Queen was photographed next to the Golden Arch with the inscription on it, over 4 billion sold today. Meanwhile, the United States and the Soviet Union completed still another spy trade, which resulted in Nicholas Danilov accidentally being traded back to Russia for Anatoly Zakharov, Mikhail Gorbachev, Yuri Zhivago, and a man in a fur hat to be named later. And that's the news. Back to you, Joan.
You don't feel guilty anymore, okay? Again, because it's our anniversary show, I try to find out what they do on anniversary shows, and I realize what they do is they always show the best clips of the best things that we've done, right? Excusez-moi. So, I went in for days locked away with the writers into a screening room, and we have selected some of the highlights we've put together for you, starting, I think, with that emotional first night that we had. Many of you are probably not old enough to remember what went on, but I went out and I kissed a few people in the front row that night, and here's the clip of that. Now, what you didn't see was what happened, because a lot of the audience got very bitchy and jealous that night. So, during commercial, this is what happened, okay? like Dickie Dawson. The only negative thing that happened, and God, the memories that fly back about that one, I ended up with 400 cold sores. But, and the last thing I'm going to show you, though, which really, I think, amazed me, the warm greetings from the audience were one thing, but to come back after not being on television for 5 months and to have a reception from your peers in this business, from everyone in show business, letting you know what they think of you has just killed me this week. Here's the clips from some of our guests and what they think of me. So tender.
Bitch.
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 Those are the good times and how young we all looked. Now to business, okay? Energizer. No battery in the world outlasts us. We'll be right back with Larry Hagman, Siskel and Ebert, Stacey Q, and Charles Nelson Reilly.
You know what really chips me off? When my vet tells me my dog needs orthodontia work. When the airline sends your luggage to Brazil and you're going to Paris. And I'm not a cranky person, except when my nails get chipped in, I really get chipped off. So I use L'Oreal 10-day formula. With a little care, I can go 10 days with hardly a chip. So why do I get chipped off? That's one I can't find, L'Oreal.
10-day formula nail enamel from L'Oreal.
My daddy taught me to be prepared for anything. So I put a little something into real estate, a little into insurance, and when I'm playing it real close to the vest, I reach for BVD.
For legendary quality, lasting comfort, invest in BVD underwear.
BVD. Now, where else would I put my personal assets?
The power says go, but the weight says no. Now, Love for Kids present the Coors Light Motor Spectacular, the Hot Rod Truck and Tractor Super Bowl Fall National. Tonight and tomorrow nights at 8 and Sunday at 2 at County Coliseum. All the big iron is coming. Modified, super modified 2- and 4-wheel drive power pulling trucks. Top fuel multi-engine dragster tractors. All the big rigs are coming to El Paso. See the Bootlegger and the Bandit. See the Coors Light Hot Rod Truck Tug of War. And Monster Mania, featuring the world-famous wheel-standing bus-crushing Taurus. The truck pullers are coming. You better be going.
If you ever wanted to buy a Honda, hurry to Dick Poe Honda. All 1986 Hondas are priced to sell immediately to make room for the 87s. You can buy a Civic, Accord, or Prelude for the lowest prices ever. Honda, voted #1 over Mercedes for customer satisfaction. You deserve the highest quality for the lowest possible price at Dick Poe Honda. Read Dick Poe's Auto Classified coming to you and save. Read Dick Poe's Auto Classified coming to you and save.
This evening is one of the most despicable, corrupt, merciless men on television, but he's a millionaire, so it's okay. Once a week, for the past 8 years, 360 million people in 57 countries have watched this gentleman, the man they love to hate, Joan Crawford in a 10-gallon hat, Mr. Larry Hagman. Mr. Ewing.
Joan Carson.
Oh.
I'm sorry, darling, there's so many of them, you know.
I'm the only woman who ever left him and didn't ask for money. So what can you do? Now, see, people confuse you with what you do. I sit behind a desk, you think of Joan Carson. Do people confuse you and think you're mean because you're anything but?
No, honestly, they don't. No, I did a show called I Dream of Jeannie for 5 years,
yeah.
And... you were all children when you saw that. And you were. And so, actually, I think they like the character because they know I was a good guy once, and it's palatable.
There was a long stretch between Jeannie and Dallas, wasn't there?
Yes, there was. I did a lot of other television shows and movies and things like that, but it was a productive time. It was learning time, you know.
Yeah, what about money time?
Oh, it was okay. No, that was okay. I've never made less than $8,000 a year.
Oh, that's okay. But there was never a time when you thought, oh, my God, I've left a big hit and there's no hit coming up?
No, really. I just kind of rely on life going on, and I take whatever comes up. Hank Fonda told me once, never turn down a job, no matter what it is. And you just keep working. And that way you meet more people, and that way they remember you if you've done a good job, or vice versa.
You're very mellow. You know what I'm saying? Because people say you live by the beach, and they say you're so eccentric, which I don't see at all yet. But, no, you're very elegant tonight. But they say you live in Malibu and you don't talk one day a week.
Mm-hmm. That's quite true.
You just don't? You say today is any special day?
Well, usually Sunday, because everybody has a religious connotation. It's easier for them to handle. But I do it on Saturday, which is also a religious holiday, you know. Like, we have a big party coming up on Sunday, and so I'll probably be talking on Sunday, but tomorrow I won't talk.
Now, what happens if your wife is out of the house and the house catches fire?
I say,
Yeah, so if it's an emergency, you're
oh, sure. I mean, yeah, I just do it for my own kind of personal. I'm selfish. I just take one day and don't talk. And it's nice.
You just don't ever feel like you have to talk? Because I would die rather than... I couldn't do it.
Rather you than me.
Yeah, I would just go crazy. And you live at Malibu, because they say you love Malibu. It's the prettiest house in Malibu.
Oh, yes, indeed. I think so. And it's a nice place to live. We have our fires and our tidal waves and our...
mudslides.
Mudslides, yes, and the road goes down every now and then, and it's nice. It's exciting.
Did you have trouble with your neighbors? Didn't you build your house too high or something?
No, they thought I did, but I didn't. And we have trouble, you know.
That rings a bell.
Yeah, you always have trouble with your neighbors. Just build good, solid walls. That's the best thing to do.
If you had one place to live outside of the beach... Yeah, you look very sad now.
I don't know where I would live. I couldn't think of not living on the ocean.
Were you brought up on the ocean?
No, I was brought up in Texas, in London, and New York, and Vermont, and places like that. And that's why I've discovered the ocean is where to live.
Did you go around... Your mother was Mary Martin. Now, did she raise...
Is Mary Martin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We wouldn't want to give you another first on television.
Not only that, she's working. A working mother is a good thing to have. You know?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. She's out on the road, you know, and the Legends with Carol Channing.
Isn't that wonderful?
It is. I love it. Anybody see that? They are wonderful. Yeah.
Would you want to work as long as your mother? Because I would. I'm just curious.
Well, Mother's only 39. So, yes, I'd like to work that long.
You know, you have no plans like to retire or do anything?
How would you retire? Could you retire?
Oh, I couldn't. I want to die behind a desk or sitting on a stool in Vegas.
Well, there's another week.
And die halfway through the act, because if you do an hour's act in Vegas and you do 31 minutes, they have to pay for the whole show. So...
I've seen her show.
Yeah, that brings me up. You came to see me, and I hear that the press hounds you so much. I didn't introduce you that night, and then I felt guilty, but I wanted to leave you alone to really be off.
That was real nice.
Yeah. Does the press never leave you alone? Every time I pick up a newspaper, a junk newspaper, there's another story about you.
Well, they make them up. It sells papers for them. I suppose it's all right. The pictures look okay. You know?
What about the law? What's the biggest lie they ever told about you?
Well, one of them said that I nailed wounded birds to trees and set them on fire. I swear to God. And I called them on it, and I got a retraction. It was a cover and the centerfold of this rag, and I called them on it, and I won my case. It cost me $40,000 to win my case, and they printed a retraction right below the hemorrhoids ad, the preparation H ad. And I thought, well, okay, you win. Okay, nothing I can do, boys.
So nothing else you could do. Do they leave you alone in your private life, or they delve into that, too?
No, they don't fool around. Well, what's the fool around with? You know?
Well, you don't nail birds to trees either, but they can put it in if they want to.
Oh, sure, they can put anything they want to. And then you have to prove them wrong. It's really not worth it.
Yeah. You're married very happily.
Oh, 32 years. Really very happy.
Isn't that... Oh. Do you ever look back and wonder what it was like? Can you remember what it was like to be single?
I have no idea.
Did you ever have a bad period when you thought we should maybe, like, get away from each other for a while?
Never did. Not once.
Isn't that great? Does she feel the same way, you think?
I don't know.
Well, she's glad you're here. Now, tell us about Dallas. Dallas this year, you personally, they say, have brought back Patrick Duffy.
Well, I helped.
How did you do that?
I offered him money. I talked to Patrick. I got him over to the house, and I said, listen, this is real secret, and I want you back on the show. And I talked to the people about it, and we sat down, and we had a couple of beers and tequilas, and then we got in the jacuzzi and talked. And I said, listen, it's time to come back, because the show's boring without you, and we have so much fun together, you know. And he says, well, I'll think about it. So we went over to the Baja Cantina over at in Malibu there, and we'd gone in, and it's real secret. And a girl's sitting there, and she says, Larry, I just heard on the radio that you and Bobby are getting back together, and he's coming back on the show. I said, my God, how did this? And somebody let it out, I guess, at Lorimar Telepictures or whatever it was, and they knew about it before we did. And sure enough, he came back, and we got good ratings, and it's fun to work with them.
Oh, it's nice to work with friends. It's so important to work with friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me ask you, I've seen your commercial, the BVD commercial, because we have it here. Do you wear them? In your pocket?
Yes, I do. I have it back here, but it takes so long to get...
It's a great commercial, by the way. It's just a wonderful commercial.
They're fun. But, I mean, I was going to show you. I actually do. They're comfortable and very profitable.
I wouldn't ask you to strip down. We'll be right back with Siskel and Ebert, Stacey Q, and Charles Nelson Reilly. Thank you.
Hello. You may notice that Ed and I have brand new ties. This is to prove that even at our age, it is not impossible to change your habits. For example, instead of ordering the same thing every time at your favorite restaurant or tavern, why not ask for a Bartles & James premium wine cooler instead? Its fresh fruit juice and premium white wine make it the perfect refreshment for any occasion. So change a habit today. Get some new shoes, go to work an hour later, and ask for Bartles & James. Thank you for your support.
Of course I trust you, Emily. But you've got to trust me, too. I mean, as moms go, I've got a pretty good track record. Didn't I tell you the Brazes were worth it? Hey, remember when you were worried about your period, and I told you about Stay Free? How you know it's going to protect, even on heavy days? Right again. And I know I'm right about you. So I trust you to take the car and be back by 11.
Stay Free Protection, a confidence you'll share. Now in new shaped, too.
Just look at all these Justin boots. Can you tell me how many boots Justin has?
No.
Well, if you took all the boots Justin has and lined them up side by side, you could make a ring almost 10 times around the sun bowl.
The sun bowl?
Yeah, I know. If you took all the boots Justin has and lined them up side by side, you would have a line stretching all the way from Western Playland down to the El Paso Zoo and back again. Can you picture that?
I think so.
How can I explain this?
Why don't you just say 5 miles?
What?
All those places you said are 5 miles. If you lined up all the boots Justin has...
Side by side.
Side by side, it would be 5 miles of boots.
Oh, Justin boots at 7100 Gateway East, I-10 at Hawkins.
First quality, original Justin Ropers, all new colors, are now $75 at Justin Boot, 7100 Gateway East. That's I-10 at Hawkins, inside the Popular Mattress Building.
Hi, I'm Andy Borman. Mr. I Am Tough is back again. I don't want to see one Honda. I want to see lots of Hondas. You have come to the right place. I want selection, and I want it today. Is 50 Hondas enough? Yes, but where are they? At Borman Honda Isuzu in Las Cruces.
The selection is great at Borman Honda Isuzu in Las Cruces.
Awesome!
KCIK TV 14 El Paso, going strong.
So much. Will you come back again?
I sure will.
That's one of the best to your mother and the best to the wife.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Guests are the masters of gentlemanly debate. They never upset between each other. They just go, well, maybe, maybe. Between them, they have a Pulitzer Prize, they have a new book, and they have John Travolta's white suit. Will you welcome them? They have a new series on Disney called Siskel and Ebert at the movies. Right now, we have Siskel and Ebert at The Late Show. You're going to sit, so...
No, we flipped already.
He won the flip again with the same coin he used the last time, is the way he put it.
So you don't trust him?
Well,
two of you are such children. All right, I'm going to sit in the middle.
I won the flip already, Joan.
Move over. Too late. I'll sit in the middle.
Okay, fabulous.
This way you're both happy.
So I get on the couch with Joan.
You get on the couch with Joan. Okay? There we go.
I won the flip.
You won the flip. Now, first of all, let's get right to it. What now is the one movie you're both fighting over?
That we disagree on. Probably Blue Velvet is one we disagree on.
Yeah, I liked Blue Velvet. I thought it was like a film like Psycho, which starts you out in one direction and then takes you into a very dangerous territory and then brings you back home safely. And I liked it a lot. I thought it was a terrific thriller and a nicely well-made film.
And what about you?
I thought what that guy did to Isabella Rossellini was unforgivable.
What did he do?
Totally undressed, kinky sex, all these things going on behind closed doors. You wouldn't believe it. At one point, she's running around naked on the lawn of somebody's house.
But Roger, I mean, Isabella Rossellini is now alive and well and living in New York. Nothing hurt her. I mean, the movies aren't real, Rod.
Her psyche may be permanently damaged. We don't know about that.
Well, you call her. I doubt it if it is.
That would be interesting to call Isabella Rossellini and ask her how her psyche is.
Do you have a phone number?
Because we know that everything else is okay.
If you got a phone number, we can give her a... So you're single, you can say that. He can't.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Now, how many movies do you see a week, the two of you?
5 or 6.
About 5 or 6.
All right.
Unless a film festival, and you'll see 8, 9, 10, 12.
What would you pay? What would you go out and pay hard money to see? $5.50 right out of your pocket. And
right now, around midnight, Dexter Gordon, American Jazzman.
Okay, what about you?
That hasn't opened yet, but I would say a film that's opened right now, I would say, well, actually, it has opened in New York City. That's right. In fact, I saw it in New York City, and I paid $6 for it.
What?
Around midnight. It's a good film.
See, but what would you pay $6 not to see?
Oh. Not to see.
I'll pay $600,000 for them not to make another Cannonball Run picture.
Can I have $1 to start that fund? Yeah. What about you?
People could send in donations. Friday the 13th movies.
I love
the same formula. Dead teenager movies. At the beginning of the movie, there are a lot of living teenagers. At the end of the movie, they're all dead. That's the formula.
I think the Cannonball Run movies are...
a guy in a hockey mask is the hero.
I think the Cannonball Run movies are worse because they're made by adults for adults. And the Friday the 13th pictures are made by adults for kids. And I think that the Cannonball Run movies are the biggest lie of all.
Oh, I don't know. I think taking advantage of those poor, hopeless kids is even worse.
Now, Academy Awards are coming up.
Yeah.
Who do you think shouldn't bother to buy a dress?
William Hurt. He already has one. From Kiss of the Spider
Woman. Who else?
Dustin Hoffman can go as Tootsie. I don't know who else shouldn't.
Who do you think gave the worst woman's
that probably
performance?
isn't going to be nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
Now, that's cruel. Even before they haven't been nominated, you want us to say that they shouldn't be.
Well,
no.
I'll
tell you who I don't think will be, who normally is. Meryl Streep for Heartburn.
Oh, that's probably true.
And you think she shouldn't be?
I wouldn't vote for her, but again, I think it was the role that hurt her rather than her performance. She's a superb actress, but the role was so underwritten that I think she won't be nominated. And it'll be a sort of a record for her not being nominated.
Who would it kill you to see get nominated?
Farrah Fawcett for Extremities.
You didn't like
now that's a good point, because she might get nominated. There's a big campaign as to how noble and how brave she was to make that picture, and I agree with Gene that... and I don't hold it against Farrah Fawcett. I mean, I think she did as best she could, given real... What are you looking at me like that?
Because I don't, and I'm waiting for you to stop it so I can say something.
You think she could do better, in other words, right?
Yes, I think she could have, while on the set of making this picture about a woman who is raped, I think she could have almost terrorized and all that. She could have decided, I will not wear a black camisole throughout the whole film and titillate the audience. She could have made that decision, because that was a decision, I think, made on the part of the filmmakers to keep the audience titillated in a film that is supposedly against that kind of activity.
Right. I'll tell you who definitely won't be nominated and should be, and that's a young British actor named Gary Oldham, who plays Sid Vicious, the punk rocker in Sid and Nancy, and he's going to fall prey to the star 80 syndrome, which is why Eric Roberts wasn't nominated. Hollywood will not nominate an actor for portraying a creep, no matter how good the performance is.
And he was wonderful in Star 80.
Yes, he was.
Wonderful.
He should have been nominated that year.
Yes, yes.
I think instead one of the kids was nominated, Henry Thomas or...
Now,
they all have two first names at that
age. You
age.
always argue. You're very calm tonight.
Henry Thomas was in Star 80?
Well, no, at the year that Star 80 came out, it was either the kid from, I don't know, from E.T. or from... Kramer versus Kramer, Justin Henry. Yeah. They all have two first names.
Yeah, which is cute.
Yeah, but I mean, Justin Henry was cute, but he played a little kid, you know. I mean, it wasn't like he was at the top of his career and had been working hard to make a great performance like Eric Roberts did, but he was such a creep, he didn't get nominated, neither will Gary Oldham.
And people, you know, Woody Allen doesn't get nominated enough as an actor.
Woody Allen should get nominated for everything.
I think a lot of nominations this year.
I think Hannah and her sisters nominate the whole cast.
The best movie I saw this year.
Yeah,
one of the best. Well, I've only seen one, but I really enjoyed it.
Now, the problem there is, it came out in February, I believe. He tends to have his pictures come out early in the year. And people forget. Most Oscar winners come out later in the year. October is a great month for Oscar winners if you do some research in recent years.
Yeah, if you look around right now, you got Peggy Sue Got Married, Children of a Lesser God, maybe around midnight. Those are all September, October pictures, and they'll probably get nominations and maybe even deserve them. But October is your official Oscar winner month.
Does anybody, because the two of you have such power now, because people really, oh, you do, you know, we really watch you and listen to what you say. Does anyone try to bribe you?
No.
Oh, come on. Starlets coming in over the transom. You know, you can tell me. A $5,000 bill slipped to you. Hi, good to see you, by the producer.
I don't think they make bills in that denomination, do they?
I've never seen one, but you know.
It's an interesting concept.
A nice wristwatch given to you.
Look at this. It's a $13.95. It's made in, I don't even think it's made in Japan. It was imported to Japan from someplace.
How about a corned beef sandwich?
Nobody's ever tried to bribe you?
No, absolutely not. That's a big lie. Because they know that they've got another film coming around. I mean, you know, the business does not work that way. The only bribe is sometimes they'll say, would you like to interview so-and-so? And if you like the picture, that's the leverage they'll play. That game is played with journalists a lot. And so you'll sometimes see, and it happens even in the news magazines, where you'll see sort of a mixed review, and you'll see the cover story on the person. You see that game? You know, you can make...
So who have you ever said, I don't want to interview?
After I saw the picture?
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds. After I was offered that on a picture, and it had nothing to do with Burt Reynolds. I didn't care for the film, and so I said no.
I'll tell you somebody who has a lot of character, Martin Scorsese, who made The Color of Money. It does not have the new Paul Newman picture.
Yes.
Does not happen to be a picture that I think is among his best work. And nevertheless, he talked to me anyway. He said, I want to talk to, you know, okay, you didn't like it. That's okay. We can talk about that.
But I think they can charm
And that takes a lot of character to do that, instead of saying, I won't talk to you unless you love my movie.
Yeah. Well, I would say that.
You would?
I'm a very bitter person.
Joan, you talked to me about Rabbit Test.
But you loved it, remember?
I didn't either.
Oh, yes,
I thought,
you did.
Oh, no.
Oh, go to hell.
I've been wanting to say that for years.
You didn't like Rabbit Test?
I hated Rabbit Test.
You can both go to hell.
Let's go to hell. Let's go to hell.
Oh, there was a lot of good stuff in Rabbit Test.
Where?
Well, you have brought us together. We now have found something we can agree on. Isn't that nice?
Name one joke in Rabbit Test that was funny.
All right, listen to me, audience. Imogene Coca brought out food for the family, and right before she served it, she sprayed it with Lysol. Now, that's a funny gag.
Oh, yeah. The applause sign went on.
Why did she spray it with Lysol?
Because that's funny.
It is?
Do you honestly think that's funny?
When they were doing it backstage in the green room, I wasn't laughing. You know, they're still doing it.
Let me ask you.
Okay.
Sit down. Sit down. Please sit down, because you're my guest the last time. That's...
If you get bored, you tune in a local radio station with those, or what?
The two of you, somebody said, have a love-hate relationship.
No, I have a hate-hate relationship.
But they say you both like and dislike the same things about each other. So I went out and I bought these little ear things, which have a radio, so you really can't hear. I'm going to ask you to put these on first, okay, Roger? And I'm going to ask Gene what he likes and dislikes the most about you, and then I'm going to switch them and see what he likes and dislikes. What you like and dislike the most about him.
Is this the dating game or the Joan Rivers show?
Let's just see, because they say you both always say the same things about each other. Put them on. Can you hear anything?
Good Lord, it's loud.
Okay. What do you like the most about him, and do you dislike the most about him?
The thing that I like the most about him is that he's not as good a critic as I am. It's very hard to find someone in your hometown who's stupid and is willing to work with you every week. And what do I dislike about him?
Yes.
He tries to tell me what to say. He even tells me, Gene, you know, you ought to clear your throat more often. You have saliva sometimes in the back of your throat. I don't care. My answer to him is, it ruined my career, right?
Okay.
You're going to enjoy this, Gene. I think it's Brahms.
Okay. All right, now.
Holy moly!
This is
bad.
Okay. What do you like about him the most?
What do I like about him the most? He's utterly honest, and sometimes he will kind of cave in a little bit and kind of be that kid that, you know, went to Culver Military Academy and was 18 years old, and you know, the child in Gene. I know a secret about him that he doesn't know I know, and I've never told him this. When he was a freshman at Yale, he would dress up like Batman and jump out of trees on people. And I've heard that from people he went to school with. And that Gene occasionally emerges from behind this facade of this, you know, kind of angry, stern, hard-driving, aggressive, and would-be competent person.
What don't you like about him?
What don't I like about him? He sometimes uses anger in order to get energy.
Okay.
He really does. He'll get real mad, and you know he's not really mad. He's just worried about something. Like, for example, every time we've ever got on a talk show, he's gotten mad backstage because it helps him when he goes out, you see.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, I don't know why you're saying this, you know. And then he comes out, and he's terrific, and I'm all rattled because he's so mad at me. So finally today, I just told him,
I'm deaf.
Today he says, how are we going to know who sits in the chair? I said, you decide. You flip the coin. You call the, you know, it's okay with me.
You're much more mellow. That's what you are. Listen, the two of you, Academy Award nominations are February 11th.
11th?
Will you come back the 10th and give us what you think is going to...
We're going to tell who's going to win before we know?
No, who you think is going to be nominated.
We'll
Academy Award nominations.
We'll think about it.
We'll give you free round trips.
That's a bribe.
The one thing
That's
that
a bribe.
I'll tell you that one thing.
I like rabbit tests better already.
See, I do it.
The one I don't like rabbit tests.
It doesn't matter. I like both of you. We'll be right back in a minute with Stacey Q and Charles Nelson Reilly.
Today, this radio can play 31 hours longer than a year ago.
That's because it's powered by the supercharged Energizer. 31 more hours of music.
Today, no battery in the world outlasts the supercharged Energizer.
Listen to the heartbeat of America. Listen to the heartbeat of America. Oh, yeah.
It's the rhythm on the road. It's the pulse on the street. Pulse on the street. City and town, a magic sound.
Feel the heartbeat of America. Chevrolet.
That's today, Chevrolet.
The game is a question of scruples.
Your husband's boss comes to dinner and makes a pass at you. Do you tell your husband?
Oh,
No, I'm in trouble. Your husband tells you to be nice to him.
Then I divorced my husband and married the boss.
A question of scruples from Milton Bradley.
If you ever wanted to buy a Honda, hurry to Dick Poe Honda. All 1986 Hondas are priced to sell immediately to make room for the 87s. You can buy a Civic, Accord, or Prelude for the lowest prices ever. Honda, voted #1 over Mercedes for customer satisfaction. You deserve the highest quality for the lowest possible price at Dick Poe Honda. Read Dick Poe's Auto Classified coming to you and save. Read Dick Poe's Auto Classified coming to you and save.
For 12 big hours Sunday, Northeast Furniture is sacrificing its $250,000 inventory during their certified relinquishment sale. Save up to 65% on America's most wanted furniture. So for 12 big hours from 12 noon until 12 midnight Sunday, choose from the entire inventory. All major credit cards accepted or on-the-spot financing on approved credit. Bring your truck or trailer and haul away the bargains from Northeast Furniture, 10,400 Dyer, El Paso.
Groups in the country. They have a top 10 hit called Two of Hearts. They have a new album out called Stacey Q, Better Than Heaven, and that's the new song, or new single from it called We Connect. Stacey Q. You're just so tiny. You're adorable.
You look beautiful.
Oh,
tonight.
so you look like Prince. Oh, you were a ballerina, and that's the way you are.
Yeah, I was. I still love the ballet, too. I saw the Leningrad Kirov when they were here.
It went crazy.
Died for it.
And you worked for Barnum and Bailey. Now, what did you do for Barnum and Bailey?
Guess.
You rode an elephant.
Ah, that's a good
Did
guess.
you?
But that's not all I did. I danced as a showgirl, too.
Which was nice.
Yeah.
I love your voice. Do people ever call up and think they're talking to your younger sister?
Yeah, I get that a lot. Is your mommy home?
Yeah. And what do you say?
Please.
Will you come back again? Because I'd just love to really sit and chat with you. You're just so cute.
Oh.
We'll be right back after this message of interest. But stay tuned because Charles Nelson Reilly is coming on. Good, Jess.
Carrie is so very...
Different. It doesn't feel like ordinary lotion. It's concentrated. It was specially made for dry, rough skin.
Carrie is so very...
Rich in emollients. It even made my rough elbows and heels soft again.
Carrie is so very...
Recommended by many dermatologists. So I'll pay more for Carrie. After all, it's the only skin I've got.
Carrie is so very...
Different.
So very...
Rich.
So very...
Recommended.
Carrie is so very...
Nothing beats a Stouffer's pizza. Luscious toppings on a French bread crust so crispy brown. All those great ingredients. It's so easy to pick up, but so hard to put down. Help yourself, help yourself, help yourself to Stouffer's pizza. Real cheese toppings, yes indeed. Just one hand is all you need. Help yourself, help yourself, help yourself to Stouffer's pizza. Help yourself to Stouffer's pizza.
Right now, it's building up on your teeth. A hard, ugly wall called tartar. And only your dentist can pull it down. But this wall won't stay down for long. So now there's new Colgate Tartar Control toothpaste with TC3. Clinically proven to reduce ugly tartar buildup. So your teeth will feel cleaner and smoother. New Colgate Tartar Control with fluoride fights tartar buildup for that fresh from the dentist feeling of clean.
Hey, thanks for helping.
You're welcome. Ooh, want me to spray some air freshener?
No, air lightener.
Air lightener?
Mm-hmm. Glade Light.
What's the difference?
Smell. Glade Light has half the fragrance.
Half?
Mm-hmm. So it's right whenever a regular air freshener might be too much.
Stops odors.
Right, but it does it lighter.
Air lightener. Hey, thanks for helping.
You're welcome.
Glade Light, the air lightener.
Let's just set the record straight. Diet Sprite may have won the last taste test. But now, Diet 7-Up has changed its taste. And if you think that Diet Sprite can stand up to the new taste of the Uncola, we're counting on it. Diet Sprite stands tall.
Hey, haven't seen you around here for a while.
I've been at that car dealership down the street.
What's it like?
Terrible. Everyone's always complaining about high prices and lousy service. Then they kick me and knock over my food dish.
Well, it isn't like that here.
Really?
No way. Here comes one of our customers. Watch this.
Wow, what is this place anyway?
University Ford Mazda, where the nice people are.
Appears on television and commercials and game shows because he's one of the most quick-witted and funny personalities around. He's also a fine acting coach and director. He's leaving right after the show to go down to the Burt Reynolds Theater in Jupiter, Florida, where he's directing Alice Ghostly and Annie. We've got him first, Mr. Charles Nelson Reilly. Seen you in civilian clothes.
My tuxedo is in a cleaner's in Florida. You see, I gotta explain. Hello, everybody. Hello. This is so subtle. It's beautiful. See, I
Take your time.
I just came back from New York, 7 days in New York. I slept 3 hours. You know what I mean? It has that gift, New York. This child is frightened already of me.
Yes,
But anyway, I had a wonderful time. I'm directing 7 plays and a musical.
at the same time.
And it all came together in my head. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I am. And everyone thinks I'm a big star. They say, here he comes. Hello, sir. Good evening. Because I direct plays. There is no money in the theater. So, now wait a second. So I called before you called. You called me today. And I love you and we're friends for years.
Yes.
I had spoken to my bank. And I said, I'm just back from New York. Stretch limousines, big hotel suites. My manager says, don't sign anything. I signed for a week. I had a wonderful time. So I get back and I call the bank. I gave my number, you know.
Right, oh yes, yes.
You know, so I said, how much do I have? And they took a while and they said $14.75. Then I wrote checks. I have no cash. I wrote checks all the time. Then I called my business manager, who's a lovely man and one of my best friends, and I said, how much money do I have? Because I really have to have some money today. He says, you have $36.52. Now, everyone says, ha ha, hee hee, you're a big star. So I brought my accountant's record of last, and you boys have to think of what my first 2 movies were.
What were your first 2 movies?
Well, they have to think about it. Also, Gene Saxon, Goodbye People, maybe supporting nomination, you think? Well, one nodded yes and one nodded no.
That's them.
All right, now just read. Gene, good, huh?
This
you didn't
is what
see it?
now?
Goodbye People, it's a wonderful movie.
This
All
is
right, now
what
just
now?
read quietly. What does this say?
Revenues received.
Now this is, okay, right. Who's the name?
Charles
Thank
Nelson
you.
Reilly, statement of
What does this
revenues and
say?
expenses, professional revenues, salaries.
Is a drummer? See, the drummer doesn't know I work with music. Get ready
Drummer.
for some rim shots, okay?
Salaries.
Baby, you thought you weren't going to do anything. This is how I'm a director. I bring it all together. Very good. Now, here we go.
Salaries.
What is it, salary?
Salaries. 0. Fees. 0. Royalties.
Go ahead, everything.
0. Residuals. 0. Sundry professional fees.
Okay,
0.
now what does this say?
Boat maintenance. 100. Oh! $13,000. 394 cents.
Okay, fine. The next page.
For your
What do we
stupid
go?
boat?
Well, I was on it once in '81. What does this say? Oh, it's just salaries,
Salaries.
right? Go ahead.
0. Talent and residual
What is
salaries,
it? What is
0.
the total? What does it say? Total what?
Royalties, 0. I don't believe.
Okay, now what does this say?
Accounting and business management fees, $1,519.
I am paying. No, but I am paying a man who's a lovely man $1,500 a month to add up zeros. And I go.
Yes, but
No, I know, John, but I go to his office. He's got diplomas from accounting, from all of this, the Treasury Department on it. And what talent does it take to add up 14 columns of zeros?
But maybe the reason you've got zeros is because you've moved down to Florida. You should be here in California where the business is.
I know, that's a friend. I know, but Florida is wonderful. I know you're trying to get into the... I'll explain in a minute. I am doing 7 plays. One of them is set in a cemetery. One of them is set in an insane asylum. The other one is set with wonderful actors, Julie Harris, Piper Laurie, the best actors in the world. Then I just came to New York. I went to New York and I auditioned 46 girls. Hiya, baby. 46 girls for Annie, the title role in Annie. All right?
Right.
Do you know what it's like with a hangover to sit 46 times through tomorrow? One girl was so wonderful. That's not even... One girl was wonderful. And she touched my heart, so she got the part. But you can go out of your mind. You know what I mean? Then I get on the plane, they go, Mr. Reilly. And I want to say to them, I have no money. But I do. I'll be all right.
You'll be fine.
Now, you wanted to ask me a question?
No, I just...
These notes also are very subtle. I never saw such notes.
Well, I like
Congratulations, and I love you. Know that. And we're
so
friends, and I really love you.
And you know it's mutual.
Okay, so can I tell you
but
about New York?
You're not going to borrow any money from me.
No, darling, no. So can I just... No, but, see, people say that what you're telling is the truth. The truth is right there with the zeros.
So doesn't that worry you because you live high?
No, because I'm like a bon voyant. You know what I mean? Like a vivant. It doesn't matter. Nothing bothers me. But the thing
why? But you have a house in Florida, you have a boat, you spend very well.
Yes, that's the
problem. Why do you live in Florida now?
Because I directed the theater that I teach. It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
and you live near a game preserve. That's very strange.
Oh, I got to explain that. Florida is very nice. Do you have a minute to explain? Because the man keeps waving. I get nervous. No, I'm sorry.
Florida. Florida.
And your name is?
It doesn't matter.
Florida is lovely. It's very hot, but they have a lot of animals and they have a lot of bugs. And I have this gorgeous house. And they have vultures on the roof.
I'm dying. Anyone we know?
No, but
we'll be right back at this message of interest, so stay tuned.
The Late Show has been brought to you by L'Oreal 10-Day Formula Nail Enamel and by Stouffer's French Bread Pizza. Help yourself to Stouffer's Pizza.